was built to last with the webs of the weaving. I could change the past. I'm achieving, got my foot on.
Today we are going to do this reaction video, and it's a motivational video. We're going to talk about this guy called Antonio Lopez. This guy lost more than 300 pounds in a year. You get, he was a guy who was super overweight. So he's 31 years old. Right now he's now 32 years old. Now let's watch and see if we'll be motivated with this video.
As a kid, I'm Mexican and black, so we always loved food. Everything was food. Good days, bad days, happy days, sad days, birthday parties, funerals, everything was food. So I've had, a bad relationship with food as a kid. I was always the biggest kid in elementary school, the biggest kid in junior high, biggest kid in high school. It's all I really know was, being happy around food.
So this guy, now starting on his story, he was hosted by Steve Harvey, and now was being asked on how he became fat, because there's somewhere you started before you became overweight. Let's say right now you have a body that you don't like. There's somewhere you started from, and it's good to find out where you started from for you to know where you want to go to. You see, how did you become fat? How did you become overweight? So this guy is saying that when he was a kid, the lifestyle they used to live, like they used to eat all the time, like they used to have parties and it was just food. They used to have all the excuses to eat. So sometimes it's not like somebody's fault. Sometimes you just are overweight because of the habits your parents exposed you to when you were a kid. So if you're a parent, you see, it's good to try and make your child have start having such a habit of having a good diet and a good lifestyle, so that will help them when they grow older. You see, because the habits most of the habits that we grow with are partly things which we were shown when we were younger. You see, so yeah, so the guy just started eating so much when he was young. Yeah, and he's saying that food was one of his causes of happiness. You see.
I was raised with confidence, and my family always supported me. Like everything I did, my family supported me. And I think there's such thing as having too much confidence, and that thing is what I had. I had too much confidence, where it's like I knew I was big. I knew I was the biggest, person around, our biggest kid in the room. But it didn't affect me because I knew my self-worth, and I knew who I was. I was happy with my body. I was happy with myself.
So you were just confident?
I was confident, man. You ain't stopping me. You know what I mean? At any weight, you weren't. I just always had a smile on my face.
So Anthony is saying that he had also a lot of confidence because of his family. You see, it all goes back to the way we bring up our kids. So Anthony is saying that when he was young, the parents and the family generally supported everything he was doing. So he became this kid who was full of confidence, and he was full of life, like the same as how my mom brought me up. I used to believe that everything I do is right. You see, so this guy, he was even so much fat. He was getting so much fat, but he was very confident in himself. There's something called overconfidence. You can become by the overconfident in a level that you are doing something wrong with a lot of confidence. You see, so that can make you mess up, by the way, because if you don't have something that puts you in check and you're just confident with everything you do and you think everything is always right, my friend, you'll mess. And this is what got this guy to this situation. You see, he was really overconfident, even overconfident in doing wrong things.
I've always been a positive person, and even at over 600 pounds, I was that person. So I was just too confident, and not now looking back, I realize how much it affected me. But in the moment when I was, so
he even got to 600 pounds. Imagine somebody's weighing over 600 pounds and he's still feeling very confident in himself. He thinks he looks good. That's very crazy. It's okay to look bad, but it's even worse to feel that you're okay with it.
It's that error.
What is it in a person that just when that number goes up, they don't stop sooner?
I ask myself that all the time, but I can't really tell you. It's just one of those things where like it gradually happened, like a little bit here, a little weight gain here, then I lose some weight, and then I would, gain more weight, and something would happen in my life where, I would under food, and then, I lose a little bit more weight, but then I gain, twice as much back or whatever it is. So,
okay.
It just kind of gradually happens.
But you were trying.
I would always. I've been on diet my whole life. I've been on a weight loss journey my whole life. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I've probably lost over 1,000 pounds in my whole life.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where until I was 100% dedicated.
So he's saying also that he goes to a place where he was being asked what happens to somebody that allows you to just weigh all this much weight. You see, to get to a place you are this big, like what happens to you? Because Steve Harvey was not finding it normal that somebody can just want to be this big and is okay with it. And he was saying that this thing that has happened once, like it happens occasionally, like you gain a few pounds, sometimes you lose, sometimes you gain more, sometimes you lose until you get to a place you're big. You don't notice like you're big, you don't become big once. It's something that gradually happens. And since you see, you're so familiar with yourself and you see yourself every single day, there are a very high chance that you're never going to see the difference. Other people are, because you tend to see yourself all the time.
I've been on diet my whole life. I've been on a weight loss journey my whole life.
Yeah, I got you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I've probably lost over 1,000 pounds in my whole life,
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where until I was 100% dedicated and 100%
And he has
ready.
said, like he was always on a diet. There's no time of his life he's always not wanted to work hard. But now the problem was that consistency, you see. So it's not about you working out or trying to fix stuff. It's about, are you really having that consistency, you see.
It wasn't going to happen, and I one day after I lost my grandpa, that's when I realized that, I got to get my stuff together, or I'm not gonna be around.
That was a major turning point, the loss of your grandfather.
100%. Yeah, I took a year off of life completely. Stopped paying a lot of my bills. Stopped focusing on anything but my grandpa. He got sick with cancer, and he was given X amount of time to live. And he didn't want nurses be coming in and bathing him and stuff like that. And that's my grandpa. He was a best friend to me.
Yeah.
And it was a difficult time, at taking care of him, doing things that nurses should be doing, or hospice nurses should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, but something I'll never regret, because I wanted to do it for him. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there whether I had 2 days, 2 months, 2 years. I wanted to be there, take care of him, make sure he was comfortable like he did my entire life. So
Yeah.
Now Anthony, this is a very sad situation. Anthony lost his grandfather, who happened to be his best friend, and his grandfather is the one who took care of him when he was young, you see. Now he was really working hard on losing weight and sometimes even working on it. And now the place that he really lost it and let it go was the moment now he was told that his grandfather was suffering from cancer, and now he had to play the role of literally being a nurse and taking care of the grandpa throughout. And this, he says that he could not concentrate on anything else, and that happens sometimes, especially when people you love or people who are really important to you, because as most of us, like, family is always comes before anything. And now when the most important person in your family, you feel you lose them through death, or you're just about to lose them, you'll always do anything to try to make them not go. And when you eventually lose them, it usually hits you so hard. And this is what, it can even affect some of the plans. Like, you get to a place where nothing else matters. Now this is where Anthony Lopez got to a place where nothing mattered anymore, and he was just there, just taking care of the grandfather. And during this time, he gained most of the weight. But sadly enough, he eventually lost the grandfather, you see. So that even was worse on him. Wow.
Thinking these crazy, thoughts that wasn't even me. So I'm tripping out, and I just looked in the mirror. I was like, my grandpa didn't have a chance to, go to the gym and work off cancer. You know what I mean? So how selfish am I being? Like, I'm not going to be around the next, I'm not going to be around for my brother, my sister, my grandma, my grandpa, my mom, my dad. I'm being selfish. And I kind of just I after the third day of being really, really depressed, I kind of snapped out of it. I looked in the mirror. It's either I'm going to get it done or my family's going to bury me next. And I called my buddy who owned a gym, and I was like, yo, I need to come in. I look nothing like you remember me looking before. And I had to get to it. You know what I mean? I had to do it because, I didn't want to. I'm tired of being selfish, and I was going to lead to, death.
Yeah, so Anthony Lopez got to a place where something hit him. So it gets to that place where something hits you and you just have to change. And in this case, it was his grandfather's death. Sometimes things happen to us negatively and they can also affect us positively. Now he's saying that after the grandparent died, the granddad died, he got to a place where he was like, he thought of how that affected him, how much pain he went through when he lost the grandfather. Then he was like, if this now happens to me, because if I continue being like this, I continue eating like this. He looked at himself in the mirror and was like, if I continue looking this way, I'm just going to be the next to be buried. And he was like, I can't allow my mother, my sister, my brother to go through whatever I'm going through right now. I don't want them to lose me. So he called his buddy and he was like, bro, let's go to the gym. You see, let's go and start doing something. And that's why he turned his life around. And that's when he started working out now consistently, you see. And it's good to have such friends, but then that you can call when when you need to change your life around. Yeah, so you noticed that he was just being selfish. Like, I'm just eating, I'm growing myself this big, but I'm not thinking about these people. Like,
I still love food. I still love food. I still enjoy myself. I just know moderation. I know, consistency. I know portion control. I know the lifestyle that I once lived, I don't want to live anymore.
yeah, and what I like is the fact that he's saying that when he changed his life, he did not start eating boring food. He still enjoys food. He still eats good food. But you can eat good food, but now you eat it in caloric deficit so that you lose weight. You eat good food, but just small amount. You don't eat too much. And there are also those good food which have so much, that's so big, like they fill you so much, but they don't even have so much calorie, you see? Like popcorn.
Of hard work. I see blood, sweat, tears, countless hours in the gym, basically retraining my whole 31 years of life with a bad relationship with food.
And then he's saying that it never became really easy. You see, like now he had to work hard, he had to eat, like he had to try to change his life, the behaviors he had in 31 years in a very short time. Like that is quite something. So I'm not trying to promise you that it's going to be easy, but it has to take like the whole of you to go for it, for you, if you really want. Just know that it's possible. Somebody else did it anyway.
The simplest things that maybe someone that would never understand, that never reach my weight, which thank God they haven't, is even going to a restaurant and not having to look on Yelp to see what their chairs look like. You know what I mean? Or get there. I remember that I would get there first before my friends and tell the people that we wanted a table, not a booth. You know what I mean? There's things that people would like, would it make sense? Tie my shoe. If my shoe came tied, I just go and tie it now. Before, I gotta take my shoe off. You know what I mean?
Wow. Now this guy is saying that his life has changed so much that he, even before going to restaurant, this guy used to go prior to check if the seats are big enough. He's saying that many people cannot know the challenges he goes through, but he used even to go to restaurants to find out if the seats there will be big enough for him. Imagine. Yeah, he could even go there before, like, to see it, before the friends go to the restaurant, to tell those guys that we need a space, a table, not a booth, somewhere that he could sit. Wow. So life changed around. So when you lose weight so much, some things are going to change, Life is going to be easier, and you're going to move around because you have less weight to move with around. Your life is going to be more efficient. So losing weight has so very many benefits, apart from, of course, your health and more energy.
I do pull-ups now. I worked really hard to do pull-ups, and now I do pull-ups daily. When people say like I'm fighting for my life back, I feel like I have a new life. You asked me what keeps me motivated is, having a voice in the weight loss community, posting up content that motivates people to, get out of the house and showing that it's possible with hard work and dedication. Like, that's what keeps me going. There's hundreds, if not thousands of people out there that have lost weight, that are losing weight, that are way more badass than I am. But I have the voice.
And then I like the fact that Antonio Lopez right now is a personal trainer. Now he's inspiring other people, which is so awesome. I don't know why most people thugs tend up to be pastors. Then people who are overweight tend to be personal trainers eventually. But it's a good thing. I think because you know what it is to be on the other side, and you know how good it is to be on this other side. So he says that he's keep on losing weight and he's not stopping, which is good. And he's now even muscular. He's just waiting now to do an operation on the hanging, whatever. But it's better to have those hanging skin than to be overweight, by the way, if you ask me. Sometimes you need something to push you. I always tell you guys, and you need something to motivate you. For him, it is him posting. Like, personally, it's this channel. I'm a personal trainer, and I'm also a fitness influencer. It will be funny if I'm overweight and I'm a fitness influencer. So you need something to push you. Maybe you get into photography. Maybe you get into social media. Maybe look for a girlfriend. If you wanted to look for a girlfriend, and for you get a good girlfriend, you have to have a good body. Like, just do something that is going to look for something that is going bigger than you, that is going to push you, to make you to keep on, working out and keeping on a discipline and eating well and eating right.
A video of me working out, and it shows people like, well, this guy could do it, and he has way more skin than I do than I could do it. Yeah. And that's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
Motivating other people.
So that's something I wish that, when you're 500, 600 pounds and you go to, other gyms, or you go, work out and do other classes, you know, they look at you a certain way. You know, they look at you like you're not gonna say you're less than, but oh, this person can't do this, so they put you on the corner. And I felt that. I know how it is to feel like, damn, I'm less than because I can't do this workout. I'm just wasting their time, and I'm wasting my time. I'm just gonna go home and stop at McDonald's on the way. And I don't ever want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. So all the
So people, he's talking about when he was overweight. People, when you're like over 500 pounds, people tell to put you in a certain corner. You don't work out with others because they believe you can't work out as them, and that feels like stigma. So if you're the person who is there, by the way, that somebody comes to the gym and is super big, don't look down on those people. At least that person is working on this problem, at least trying to solve it. And if you're the person who is overweight and you come to the gym and people are putting you aside, like, push yourself around. Don't allow them to put you in the corner. Tell them, I can't do this. Push yourself. Don't also stay down and like, oh yeah, they say I can't do it, so I can't do it. You'll stay there forever. So Anthony used to go forward and he could do what those people try to tell him, and he's always trying to teach people on that, you see. Yeah, to motivate other people too. But this was a very inspirational story, and I had to share it with you guys because I usually find very many people who tell me that, like the way you look at me, like some people find that they're very skinny and they think they can't gain muscles, and some people are also very big and they think they can't lose weight. And I'm always telling you guys that wherever the weight you have, somebody had a worse weight than you have, and right now, and they improved it. The people who are skinnier than you, and right now they're bigger than you because they worked on, they ate better. And there are also people who are like more overweight than you. I'm sure like majority of you are not even getting anywhere close to 600 pounds, but you can see Anthony like lost the weight, and now he's muscular and he looks very good, apart from of course the hanging skin. So guys, I just want to advise those guys who like, say for instance, you feel like you're not overweight. You see, you think that this weight of mine is one that I can manage. My friend, relax. Time moves so fast, and before you know it, you'll be overweight. And it gets to a place where now you start working backward. The deeper you go, it will be more difficult to come back, you see. And also when you come back, you might remain with some extra loose skin that you'll need also to still go for plastic surgery, which you don't want to go that far. Imagining you went as far as 600 pounds. So guys, this is not a video to body shame, but this is a video to motivate and tell you guys that wherever you are at, there are people who are in a worse situation and they did it. So thank you for subscribing. I know you have subscribed already. Thank you for liking this video, and I ask you also to share this video with anybody that you think will find it motivational enough, so that you can spread the love. Like our main resource and our main reason for being on this earth is just to help other people be better, and that's why we are here. So thank you for subscribing to the best channel, and see you in the next one.
I was built to last.